today we got the final stack of comics that I screwed up on and they got buried, and I read comics past these, and now I had to go back to get caught up on some. It's been I've been reading them over the last week, so hopefully I can remember what they're all about. Uh, Only a few were before the last reviews I did, but this one is some of them are the ending stories of other runs that I never finished off and was wondering what was going on with them. But starting out with from Zombie Love Studios, we got 20 Degrees Past Rigor. And this story, we're getting into the main zombie outbreak part of it, where we're learning what these zombies are, what they can do, that they're able to be intelligent enough to talk and do things to people that other zombies from our past stories couldn't, didn't act upon like these zombies do. I like the way they're laid out. I like their intellectual abilities and their abilities to not just be the slow walking zombie. We get a variety of different zombies in here, and with them being intelligent, they can hunt down people that they want to hunt down and stuff like that. It was a wonderful series by Rodney Barnes and Man House. If you want to check that out, and Zombie Love Studios. Lemmy decided he's going to join in, so that's going to make the reviews even more fun. We got Cruel Universe, number 4. In this one, we get By the Book by Matt Bors and Daniel. My glasses. Irazari. Daniel is Irazari. And colorist Michael Madsen. I'm sure it's not Michael Madsen we are thinking of, but we basically have an alien invasion where some military characters are caught up in an environment where kind of basically a world where we are working with the aliens. The aliens are becoming presidents, key members of staff, and it's going to affect a lot in our world and how our people work with aliens. As we know, it never goes good. Then we got The Doomsday Particle by Matt Kent, Allison Sampson, and Jordi Belair. This one, basically, some scientists basically recreate the Big Bang. I mean, the thing that always annoyed me with the Hadron Collider being built inside our planet, and they're trying to recreate the Big Bang, and they actually did get the particle and stuff at one point. And this is playing off that, and you basically got some scientists that basically snub another scientist, and that scientist ends up doing something to try and pay him back in their own way, and it could affect our whole universe. Um, we got peer review by Cecil Castellucci and Andrea Moody and Michael Ataya. And in this story, we get some space travelers that come across an entity that is of ghostly proportions that they have to deal with out in space while they're trying to find out more about something. They basically end up dealing with different species and stuff on while having to deal with the ghostly entities and stuff that they're dealing with. And then we got The Hero of Venus by Ben H. Winters and Kano. And this one is basically a space traveler that went to Venus and caused some things to affect our planet, and now he's being affected by it all. I suppose I should show that page. No, it's such a short one, you can't help but show those pages. But yeah, lots of little space related stories in that one. And then we got Cruel Universe number 5. It's down a little bit so you can see a little bit more of Lemmy while he's here until I annoy him enough that he gets off my lap so I can read these books without trying to not disturb him too much. Paring Knife, written by Karina Bechko, artist Leo Max, and colorist Alessandro Santori. In this story, we have an interesting group of space travelers, people that are dealing with an environment where they have equipment that turns natural organisms into food or whatever they need, and they're low on supplies, and they're having an inspection done, they're trying to get some extra food and stuff like that to sustain them, but the management is kind of douchey and treats them like crap, and you can imagine what they do to pay them back. We got The Ink Spot Test by Cullen Bunn, Peter Krause, and Ellie Wright. This one was interesting how uh, researcher, scientist, whatever, was using ink spots to kind of mess with people's minds, and they were able to do some stuff to the ink spots that affected the people that were looking at them, and they get their own little twisted payback in the end. Then we got The Billionaire Trust with Karina Bechko, Daniel Irizarry, and Brittany Peer. And in this story, basically, a spoiled brat is after a billionaire's money and does what he can to connive his way into things, and is going to end up getting his own little payback in the end for doing things the way he thought was right, at least for him. Then we got DC Horror Presents, issue 2 of 4. This one, I believe I reviewed number 3 already, so. And we also get it's like the crypto cover is the reason I bought it, but it also gives us the Superman or Batman cover, the zombified Batman cover with the bat coming out of his mouth. So I was happy to see that because I don't really care for those covers, but I like that one the best out of all of them. But in here we got Living Doll, writer Latoya Morgan, artist Tom Derenick and Walt Barna, colorist Nick Filardi, letterer Simon Bolin. And in this story we have some cosplay superhero type characters on Halloween out and about, going someplace they shouldn't be, to find out that it's going to end up causing them all kinds of havoc and trouble along the way. But as something always goes awry when you mess around with anything occult wise, especially on Halloween, never works out. Then we got Superstitious Lot by writer Aaron Sagers, pencils and inks by Ryan Kelly, colors by Dee Knief, lettering by Simon Bolin. In this story, Basically, get someone coming to basically give an ultimatum, make a deal with the Penguin, and if you know the Penguin at all, if you try to make a deal with him, it's not going to work out in the long run. And then Batman Dark Patterns. Okay, that's just a preview for Batman Dark Patterns. Or it was another story in here. But it does give you a little dark side of our Bat character, but apparently just a preview for something that's coming out in the future. I got a cat on my arm now. I'll stick you upside down. Yeah, you can't just lay right there. That's not enough room for you. You gotta be on top of me. We got Garfield, number 4 of 4. These were fun. At first, I was iffy, but I got sucked into it. We got created by Jim Davies, of course. Dog Training Day is written by Ryan Estrada, illustrated by Axur Inez. And then the Spider Phobia story is written and illustrated by Sarah Graley and lettered by Steph Purinins. But our first story, poor John is trying to teach Odie tricks. Odie isn't paying attention. He's kind of in a sleep mode at that point. At other points, Garfield has him standing his guard and behaving, not doing things, so he's not responding to John. John just feels all bummed that he can't get Odie to do tricks. But then he sees that Garfield's making Odie do tricks, so he gets all excited, and lots of stuff happens. And then in the second story, Spider Phobia, we get to see Garfield's pops again came to visit and noticed that Garfield's afraid of spiders. And Garfield tells us why and gets us deeper into the history of the spiders. And John does some things to help out. And yeah, those were enjoyable. A good ending to the little 4-issue run. And we got Hack Slash Body Bags, issue 2. This nice little crossover from Image Comics done by Tim Seeley, Stefano Caselli, Steve Kurth, Kurt Michael Russell, and Crank. And in here, basically a hacks Slash and Body Bag are at it. They're battling away because Slash can't speak with his mask on. So some things happen where his mask is busted. And then he's able to tell the guy what's going on. But at the same time, the girls are having their own problems at their little house, their little schoolhouse that they're supposed to be locked up for 24 hours during a training session, but people are showing up with part of their skull crushed in, and the girls are on the prowl trying to find out who's causing that while our big monstrosities are battling each other, trying to decide who's the evil one when they're both working kind of in the same manner, trying to get some other serial killer. So they finally wake up and start working together, and at the same time, the girls are having their own problems at the house, and lots of misaccusations and all that stuff going on, of course. Then we got Fuck Fairyland, or I Hate Fairyland. This is Happy Endings, part 2 of 5, issue 17. And we find out that Gert is being stalked by someone that she dealt with in the past and sent to hell. And because of it, she's finding out there's other characters that are kind of in her boat that might help her with the battle, but are little eviler than evil Gert, I guess you'd call her. Has her armies amassed and is escaping hell to come after Gert And while she does, Gert's out trying to find some people not known to, well, they're known to the fairyland, but not seen in the fairyland because they were able to escape. And Gert's trying to find a way to learn more about these characters and see if she can get them to help her. And we got issue 18 where she comes across Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz back in Kansas and tries to recruit her. While at the same time, we have all the evil Gerts that were brought back from death to hunt down Gert. Uh, are starting to realize that this new headstrong Gert, eviler than evil Gert, whatever you want to call her, is basically not a very nice gal. None of them are. This one's even meaner than some of the other ones. So they're going to have to deal with it in one way, shape, or form. Now we got Nightclub 2, issue 4. I know we read issue 5 of this. Issue 5 wasn't so bad. This one was a good layout, and it's done by Mark Millar, Juan on Ramirez, Fabiano Mascola, and Clem Robbins. But we get our evildoers taking over territories, doing what they can with their newfound powers, and still learning some of the things with their powers. And while at the same time they're messing with some of the nightclub crew, they're still alive, and we find out what happened, what's going on in between, what these evil characters have been doing and stuff to lead us up to the last issue we reviewed. It got a little bit better, but this one wasn't so bad. It was a good layout for those style characters, a good way they put it out and did it. If you're into that whole gang war style stuff, but I'm just not into that anymore. So those stories don't really interest me, but hey, it's that one's not so bad as some of the earlier ones. And then our last book is Plastic Man No More, issue 3. Right? Issue 3 or 5? 3. And I love that stained glass cover. This is done by Christopher Cantwell, Alex Linz, Jacob Edgar, Marcelo Mialo, and Becca Carey. But basically, you got Plasty basically trying to get the Justice League to even care about him, and just they still treat him like crap, even though the poor guy's dying. And then he works a deal. He leaves them, explains to him what happened with the Metal Men and how most of the Metal Men have been killed off. And then he goes off to, well, while he goes off, our chimp detective is on the case, double checking what happened to the Metal Men. But we see Plastic Man go to his son, try and get his son to help him out with something, but he has ulterior motives because of that. But we get to meet a variety of characters that we don't know if we can really trust, but we're learning more and more about what's going on with our characters and what Plastic is doing to try and help his son and all that stuff. But still a wonderful story. Really enjoyed this one. If you like Plastic Man, it's a good run to pick up. Might be the end of Plastic Man. So you definitely want to check it out and see what happens to him. But yeah, poor guy's melting away. But yeah, that's it. Keep following under the call of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes. And we will be back with more of these reviews and many more like them in the near future. Uh, do that and also check out Crimson Color Comic Club for our group podcast and all our creator interviews and all that stuff. And yeah, finally caught up, hopefully. Hopefully I won't find another missing stack that's got buried underneath another stack as I'm boxing stuff up and going through things. We will see what happens, and we should be able to get back on the regular review of the new releases here now and get back caught up with those. So keep following our reviews, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.